Good day, welcome to the first training video session on the fleet management system. You as employee has been selected to do the following two things. The first is to request a route authorization, and the second is to do an electronic vehicle check on the vehicle that's going to leave your premises as well as when the vehicle returns to your premises. The video you are currently watching is going to focus on how do you request a route authorization on this new system that Wisani has developed. Then there will be a second video that will explain to you how to do an electronic vehicle check. But before we get to how to request a route authorization, let's just quickly look at the process on how do you request a route authorization until such time that that route authorization must also be closed. So on this graph, you'll see the first step is for you to request a route authorization on your computer. Once you have requested that route authorization, you need to move to step 2, which is checking the vehicle before it leaves your premises. Now, the way that you're going to do this, there's going to be an app downloaded on a cell phone at your branch, and you're going to use that cell phone to check the vehicle. This is going to happen in video 2, where we explain to you how to do this. Now, it's very important that you do step 1 and step 2 first before control room can approve your route authorization. Once you have done your vehicle check on your cell phone, that information will go through to control room. Control room will then access all the information. So in other words, they will see that you've requested a route authorization, and they will also see that you have checked the vehicle. Then only will they approve the route authorization. You will have to go back into the system to see if the route authorization has been approved. Once that route authorization has been approved, then only may the driver leave the premises. Now the driver can go and do the trip, and once the driver returns to your premises, you once again need to take the cell phone and check the vehicle again to see if there may have been any additional damages or theft to that vehicle. And then what the driver then needs to do, the driver that drove the vehicle also needs to call control room so that they can close the RA. Now step 5 is exactly the same as they have done in the past. Every time that a driver returns from his or her trip, they will call control room so that they can give all the required information, and then control room will close that route authorization. So this is the complete process, the 5 steps that need to be followed in order to request a route authorization and then also to close that route authorization. So let's look at how do you go about step 1, requesting that route authorization. On your computer screen, you will find an icon that's very similar to this one. This is now the new fleet management system that has been developed by Wisani. You just need to double click on that icon and it will open up this page. First of all, you need to put in your username, which is your email address, your Wisani or NLA email address, and you will also be provided a password. If you have not received a password, you can also click on Google Login and it will go through your Google account. You can log in. All right, but let's say you have received your password. You just type in your password, your email address is your username, and you click on Login. Now, this is the system that opens up. You will see at the top, it says Route Authorization Manager. Just make sure this is the menu bar on your left-hand side, that the route authorization has been selected here. And this indicates the whole list of route authorizations that have already been requested by various people at various branches. So once you have requested your route authorization, it will also appear on this list. So let's see what you need to do. First thing, you need to click on this plus icon here. This screen then requires you to complete the driver information. First of all, you need to click on the arrow here, and the next thing that you need to do is type in the driver's employee number. Now, let's use my employee number as an example. Mine is LUC, and there it shows my employee number. I'll just click on it, and the moment that I've clicked on it, it indicates all the rest of my information. So it gives my full name. So this would be the driver's full name that will appear here, the driver's cell phone number, and it will also indicate that the driver is available, as also the company. So I'm working for Wisani Burial Society. You may also find that it could be National Legal Aid. Right, so that's now completed on the left-hand side, the driver information. The next thing that you need to do is now you need to complete the vehicle information. So the first thing that you need to do is again click on this arrow, and then you need to include the full registration of the vehicle. And remember, it's important that you include the full registration, because sometimes it has the same DBH, for example. There's a DBH, but the numbers are different. So make sure that you select the correct vehicle. So let's say I'm going to drive this vehicle. I'll just click on that, and then it brings up all the information about that vehicle. So also make sure that this information is correct. So it indicates here it's a Ford, the make. The model is a Ranger. The disc expiry is in August this year, so this vehicle can still be on the road. What is the purpose of this vehicle? It indicates here it's a pickup vehicle. And then also it gives the last ODU reading of that vehicle. Very, very important that you check that and make sure that it is the same on the vehicle as it's indicated here on the system. Now, this vehicle belongs to National Legal Aid. It could also be Wisani. Right. You'll also note here that this save button, if I click on it now, nothing is going to happen. It's because I'm not done yet. What I now need to do is I also need to write a comment here. Why am I going to use this vehicle? So I can say it's a pickup at Letaba Hospital. Right? That's the reason why I'm using this vehicle. And then I'll scroll up. Then you'll see there's route information. There again is a little plus. Click on that plus button again. Now you need to indicate what the route is all about, where the person is going to go to. There's a start section, and then there's also a stop section. So the first thing you need to do is indicate where's the vehicle going to leave, the depart button here. So I click on the arrow, and let's say I'm going to leave from Tzaneen Plot. I can just scroll down. Here's a whole list of options to take. So I'll just go, because it's alphabetically, I know that Tzaneen is just after here. So Tzaneen. It's a very, very long list. There we go. So let's say we're going to leave from Tzaneen Plot. So I'm leaving from Tzaneen Plot. I then click on Tzaneen Plot. Right. The next thing I need to do is now the reason why I need to use this vehicle. Again, I click on the arrow here, and you'll see there's a whole list of reasons that you can select from. I'm now going to select it's a pickup. Right. And then it also indicates the date that I'm going to take this vehicle, as well as the time. You'll see there's also sub-reasons. So there could be, if you select a reason here, it will also indicate that you need to give a bit more information on that reason. Then you select the sub-reason. But because a pickup is a pickup, there's no sub-reason for this one, and I just leave it like that. Again, once you've checked, make sure that the ODU reading is exactly the same here. If it is not the same, please make a comment here. It's very, very important to say this is actually the ODU reading. So you will then type in the correct ODU reading in this section here. Right. So, but let's take it for now that this is the correct ODU reading. So I'm not going to comment there. The next thing I need to do now is to say, where is this vehicle going to? So where is it going to stop? Remember I said I'm going to take it to Letaba Hospital. So let's just scroll down again to L to see if I can find Letaba Hospital. Let's just see Letaba Hospital. There it is. So I'll just click on Letaba Hospital. The next thing I need to do now is give an estimate of how far this vehicle is going to travel. But remember, it's not only going to Letaba Hospital, it needs to go back to the Tsanin plot again. So you need to put in the complete kilos. So let's say, for example, from Tsanin plot to Letaba Hospital, it's 40 kilometers. So I'm going to put it in times 2 because it needs to return. So in total, it's going to be 80 kilometers. Okay, you just put in 80. You don't have to put in km, otherwise it's not going to take it. Right, so I'm now happy. I've included the distance. Now, the next thing you'll see here is the expiry date. So this is where you need to indicate what time and date the vehicle will return to Tsanin plot again. So you put your mouse cursor in that field and you just click on it, and then it opens up this little calendar. So let's say, for instance, it's already selected today's date. I'm not going to bring it back a day later, so I'm going to leave it on today's date because it's going back to the plot today again. It already shows me at the moment it is 9:26 a.m. All right, so I'm leaving now. So let's say it's going to take me about 2 hours to do the pickup. So let's say 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, it must be back. So it's still in the morning. Remember, if it returns in the afternoon, you need to click on PM. Otherwise, it's going to indicate that you're still going to bring it back in the morning. But because this is 2 hours later, it's still AM. So I'm selecting AM. And the date is correct. It's today that now I'm clicking on this clock so that I can indicate that it will be back by 11:30. I click on that clock. And then what I want to do is I'm going to take it to 11. It shows to you the hour has now been highlighted, that 11, and I'm leaving it. And now it brings it to 11:26. But I want to make it 11:30, so I just drag that and put it at 11:30. I'm happy. That's the time more or less when the driver will return, and I click on OK. I think it's just also very important while we're at this point to inform the driver that you've indicated on the system that he or she will be back at the plot by 11:30. If the driver finds that they're not going to make that time, they need to contact control room and let them know that the vehicle will not be at the plot at 11:30. They must give a reason for why they're going to be late, but they should not keep quiet. They must always inform control room if they are going to be late. All right. So the next thing you'll see here, and you can't change anything here, this is the ODU expiry. What this means is that 80 kilometers has now been added to the start ODU here. You'll see it's 540 at the end here, but now it's added the 80 kilometers, so it is now 620. So it's just to give an indication what the kilos would be once the driver has finished his or her trip. Right, so now you're happy. You have included all the information on the screen. The next thing you need to do is click on Done. Okay, and again, it returns to the previous page that you have already completed. And now you will see you can now click on Save. It's no longer white. It's now green, which means you can now save your route authorization request. So I'm going to click on Save. And then it indicates to you that your route authorization has successfully been created. Now remember, now that you've done this, the next step that you're going to do is to go out to that vehicle and you're going to check on your cell phone using an app to check the vehicle to see if everything is still okay or if there are any damages to that vehicle before the vehicle leaves the premises. And once you have done that check, you're going to come back into the system. So let me just quickly show you. We're now going back to that list. Now you will see it indicates here, this is the route authorization that I have just requested. It indicates here as new and who the driver is, where it's going to go, the kilos, and here it shows to you it's now being requested. When you have checked your vehicle and you come back to the system, please check that that requested has changed to active. It must be active before the driver can leave the premises. Okay, so please make sure that you wait until such time that control room has authorized it. Once it's authorized, it will indicate here active. Then you can tell the driver, okay, it's now safe to leave. Right, that's all to it. That's all you need to do when it comes to requesting a route authorization. So once you've finished with this, all you need to do now is don't just close the window here. Please make sure that you log out. So if you move your mouse to the left-hand side, you'll see here at the bottom, it shows you log out. All right. Very important also that you log out so that other people cannot go on your password and username into the system. And then you log out and you are done. All right. I hope this was easy for you to follow. And the next video, please check video number 2 so that you can see how you need to do that vehicle check. Thank you.